You're listening to the Pesky Report, a podcast dedicated to the Boston Red Sox by Red Sox fans. The Pesky Report is happy to announce that we will be sponsored by High and Happy Catering out of Springfield, Massachusetts. High and Happy Catering creates gourmet meals for small or large events with a twist. All of their meals are cannabis infused. If you are looking to have a real happy meal, call them at 413-785-8999 or search for them on Instagram at High and Happy Catering. You'll be happy you did.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Pesky Report. This is episode number 79, brought to you by Belly Up Sports. My name is Brad Chandler, and with me today I have Hogdale and Brady. How are we doing today, gentlemen?
Feeling pretty good, man. Feeling pretty good. It's a nice day.
Beautiful fall day. Ready to talk a little baseball. Feeling good.
You know what I fucking hate about today?
What do you hate?
There's no baseball
I
on?
hate daylight savings time.
It's worse than AIDS. True.
I mean, I don't know if I would go it's worse than AIDS, but it's definitely fucking up my mentality for today. It's like, man, right now it feels like it should be 7:00 my time.
See, like the fallback day isn't terrible. In spring, though, when you lose an hour of sleep, I just hate everything. And did you know on that day specifically, you have a 60% chance more likely to get in a car accident because literally everyone is, an hour tireder. So that one single mom that's barely holding on with 4 hours of sleep, but one night got 3 hours of sleep. And guess what? That's what it takes to get your rear-ended in the fucking come and go parking lot. That's all it
All right. Well, seeming as though we started off on a sour note, I do want to say that we have 97 days until Truck Day. All right. And then we have 144 days until opening day. Let's go.
All right. We're getting closer.
Chip it away one day at a time.
3 months until the truck goes. And oh boy,
You'll be here before you know it. Don't worry.
Yeah, really. So so this is going to be a different episode. Obviously, we didn't have any baseball to talk about and whatnot, like games and things like that. So we kind of had stuff figured out. Like, we have things like, what's the word I'm trying to look for?
Discussion points.
Yeah. Well, no, it's not discussion points, even though we do have discussion points. But we know what we're going to talk about, like right off the rip. Like we don't want to have like we don't want to have
a lack of direction.
Yeah. Like I just don't.
Even though it sounds like we.
Yeah, exactly. I have no idea what I'm talking about. So we talked about it during the last episode or after the last episode. All three of us were like, you know what would be cool if we had like a 2021 all MLB baseball team, and it would be basically like our all-star team. And we decided that we were going to come up with this, and we were going to start this episode with that. So with that being said, do we want to go like player by player, like position by position, or do we want to go each person goes through their list?
I think we should like go position by position, like we all share and like give thoughts, and I think that'd be the best way to go about it.
That sounds nice.
Yeah, that sounds nice.
That sounds nice.
All right, Brady, why don't you start us off? What position do you want us to talk about first?
I would like to start out in right field.
All right,
I'm down.
My right fielder was a guy by the name of Bryce Harper, who had a phenomenal year. Hit 309, 42 doubles, 35 homers. He's been around for a long time, But damn, I feel like he's really just coming to his own. He put together a good, healthy season.
Yep. See, people sleep on Bryce Harper and they shit on him because like he gained like a bad reputation after a few years, which by the way, I feel like that bad reputation is half of because of the old way of baseball still ruled at the time. It's like, oh, this player is showing emotion. Therefore he's a piece of shit and a dick. Fuck him.
Yeah.
So, because, you know, players are showing emotion like he did a few years ago now, and people are actively encouraging it. And I just think Bryce Harper got the bad end of the stick then. But as Brady said, Harper had a ridiculous year. He hit 309, on base of 429, slug 615. He OPS'd over 1,000. Like, absurd year. 179 OPS plus, 5.9 WAR, 5.9 WAR. He didn't play the best defense, and that's kind of what kept his WAR down a bit compared to guys like my brain's not working. The guys like, Simeon playing a great second base, so his WAR really ballooned. So like his WAR is kind of like a little low compared to what it should be, but like he had an absurd year, such a good year. It's either him or Soto as MVP in the National League this year.
And going to Soto, Brad.
Nope, I'm not going to Soto. Hogdale. I'm going last.
Yeah.
Who's your right fielder?
Yeah, what was your right fielder? I just said mine's Harper.
Yours was Harper as well.
Yeah, mine was Harper. So what was yours?
So, okay. Mine was actually Juan Soto. So he had a 7 WAR. I think the reason why I actually picked him is it had nothing to do with the advanced stats. It's just the simplicity that the simple fact that he's Juan Soto, right? Plus, he walked 145 times.
Damn.
I believe he walked more than he struck out.
You are correct. He struck out 93 times.
That's great.
He had an on-base percentage of 465. His slugging was at 534. His OPS was at 999. His OPS plus was 175.
Dude, he was 22 this year. He's 22.
You know what's crazy too?
Here's the crazier thing, though.
What?
With his batting average, he had a 313 batting average, but he hit into 23 double plays, and he led the league.
Wow. Huh. He said he had 93 strikeouts, but it felt like he got like a ton of them in that last weekend against the Red Sox when he was like, dude, I'm fucking out of here. Because, like, you know what I mean? Like, what a season, man. What a player.
Yeah. I mean, he had 20 doubles, 2 triples, 29 RBIs, 29 home runs. Did I just say 29 RBIs? That's crazy. He probably got 29 RBIs in one game.
Probably.
95 RBIs, 9 stolen bases. He led all of MLB with 145 walks. He led all of MLB with an on-base percentage of 465. He led all MLB in intentional walks at 23. So, I mean, going with Juan Soto, I believe was the correct way to go. But I'm not saying that Bryce Harper was incorrect.
See, I had Juan Soto as my left fielder because in my brain, I pictured him as a left fielder, even though he probably did play more right field this year. By the way, also he sizably improved in the field this year.
He did not play at all in left field this year.
Hilarious. Well, I'm still keeping him there.
He played 46 games. 144 of them were in right field, and 2 of them were DH.
That's hilarious. Well, here's the thing. I'm keeping him in left field because I want him on the list. And fuck you.
I mean, outfielder, that's fine. Brady, what's the next one?
Center field. I picked a friend of the broadcast because this is a guy you and I are both really high on. I picked Cedric Mullins. Cedric Mullins had a 5.7 WAR, 291, 30 homers, 30 stolen bases. I'm sorry, I still love stolen bases. That's exciting. It makes shit happen. He played in all but 3 games this year, had an on base of only 360. But he's just a wonderfully exciting player, a guy that I would love to be on the Boston Red Sox, and a guy where if I think he was on a better baseball team, he is going to get even better and better. But, man, he's an exciting baseball player.
Hogdale, your center fielder?
Yeah, my center fielder, I'd Starling Marte. He had an underratedly amazing year, career year from him. Like the only thing he was really lacking was power. Like he only had 12 home runs, but like batting wise, he batted 310, 383 on base, 458 slugging, 132 OPS, 47 stolen bases. Dude was a maniac on the base paths this year. And he plays an amazing center field, like, Gold Glove quality center field, 4.7 WAR. I mean, a career year from Starling Marte, and just fantastic. I think he should be getting more credit.
I decided to go with a Boston Red Sox for this one, and he is actually my only Boston Red Sox player that I picked because I decided to try to pick a player from a different team for every position. But I picked Kike Hernandez. Now a lot of people would assume like Jackie Bradley Jr. No, I'll tell you the difference in a little bit. He didn't have an amazing year, but I felt that like seeing him on a regular basis gave me like that homerism, like I decided that this is the guy that I'm going for because it was the center fielder I saw on a daily basis. Starling Marte, great. I also was talking to Hogdale before we started recording. I was like, man, like it's kind of a hard choice between Kike and Cedric Mullins. And I feel like both of what you two said actually makes a lot of sense going with Starling Marte and Mullins. But I went with Kike because he just made the Boston Red Sox better with him being in the outfield. I mean, he wasn't anything spectacular at the beginning of the season at the plate. He was the leadoff guy, and everybody was going at his head for it. Alex Cora's head for it and whatnot. And then he came in and he just started. He ended up with 20 home runs. There I go again. Why am I keep saying that? 20 home runs and 60 RBIs. And I don't know if like this was a lot of stolen bases or whatnot, but he had one stolen base.
The mad lad.
Right? Like Christian Vasquez, I think, actually ended up leading the team with 8 or 9. That's fucking crazy. He did better. Cora stated, I'm going to stick with him. And they did. So I went with Kike Hernandez. I'm pretty sure there's other center fielders out there that people would agree are better than the 3 that we chose, but that's our decision. All right, Brady.
Left field. This is not a homer here. This is just an honest answer here. What was Alex Verdugo? Alex Verdugo has a really good arm. He's the player. He gets it in a big city. Hit 289, only 13 homers, but 32 doubles. Not a ton of Ks. I think he's going to turn into the player that Andrew Benintendi was supposed to be, a 320 hitter, 20 homers, 40 doubles. But he's only 25 years old, and he has such a knack for getting big hits in big spots, in big games. And I feel like only more and more is going to come from him. I think he's a truly exciting player. He's just a grinder. Love him. I hate his base running, but god damn, he's fun to watch.
Oh, do you want me to go next, Brad?
Yes.
Okay, good. So, I guess I view this more as a 3 outfielder thing then, but like I said, it's Juan Soto. Like, to me, he has to be on this list. He was so goddamn good this year, and I can't hammer the point enough. This dude has complete and utter command of the strike zone, and he is 22. Right. This dude is a generational talent as a hitter, like once every 30 years. Absurd.
And I can't wait
talent.
until he's a Boston Red Sox.
Same here, dude. He didn't OPS over 1,000 because he OPS'd at 999, so very tragic on that regard. But like he improved this year in the field. He had very good defensive numbers this year. A 7 WAR. I can't say enough about how amazing Juan Soto is. He's just fantastic. He's the best hitter in baseball, in my opinion.
Well, Yuli Gurriel was actually the best hitter this season, but
he's the best racist in the season.
Oh man, I cannot stand him.
Anyway.
The fact that he's going to still be playing baseball next year is just like, fuck him. But speaking of Yuli Gurriel, my left fielder is actually his teammate, and technically the second best hitter in American League, and it's Michael Brandt. Michael Brantley. I mean, the last 4 years, actually, let's go back to 2017. The guy has hit no less than his batting average has been no less than 299. He's 299, 309, 311, 311. So his career batting average for the 13 years that he's been playing is 298.
It's stupid.
He's got an OPS of 799, which okay, it's not Juan Soto, but I mean, I'll take the batting average. He's decent. He's a good bat. I like him. So there's that.
Yeah, I mean, I like everyone's picks here. There's a few dudes I felt bad leaving off. I think Teoscar Hernandez had an amazing season for the Blue Jays, and he kind of gets overlooked because of all the young talent on that team. He had 30-plus bombs, OPS around 900. Fantastic year for him. I had felt sad leaving him off. Same as Cedric Mullins. I thought he fantastic year for the Orioles. They really got something special with him.
All right, next position, Brady.
Third base. Jose Ramirez, man. Jose Ramirez at a 6.7 WAR, 266 hitter, 36 homers, 103 runs knocked in for a team that doesn't score a lot of runs. That's really fucking impressive. 27 stolen bases from this guy. He looks like, he's got the pudgy face, but man, he fucking moves. And he played in all but 10 games this year, which says a lot to me because that team was going nowhere. He fucking grinds. Oh my God, he's a phenomenal fucking hitter. He's just unbelievable.
And Hogdale?
Yep, mine as well. Jose Ramirez, to me, most complete third baseman in baseball. Absurdly good. Like, it's like Brady said, like, no other third baseman steals as many bags as this guy. Like, it's so weird, like, seeing a third baseman with that kind of talent, where it's like the dude's a maniac on the base pass, 27 stolen bases. Defensively, he's not like Arenado level, but he's like just a tier below that. He's still very, very good defensively. He's no bum, like he's no Raffy Devers at third. But
speaking of Nolan Arenado, that was my third baseman. I went with the Platinum Glover. His batting average went down a little bit from his times when he was in Colorado. Last year, he didn't have a good year with Colorado, but that was a Mickey Mouse season. So, but he hit 255, 312 on base percentage. He slugged 494. His OPS was respectable at 807. So, I'm going with Nolan Arenado.
Great player. Love the man.
Next position, Brady.
Shortstop. This is probably my favorite player in baseball who's not on the Boston Red Sox. The guy I wish would be, but he never will be. Trey Turner. Trey Turner is a fucking unbelievable baseball player that I don't think gets near enough credit. He hit 328. He led the league. He had 28 homers, 77 runs knocked in. He's just I think he stole 32 bases, which also led the league.
I'm sorry, but his stolen base as the Dodger, like when he just like
slide was fucking. Oh,
did he lead like all shortstops? Because I know that who was it? Marte led the league because he had 47.
What with stolen bases?
Yeah.
Oh, I might have to go back. All right, I'll look back.
Or maybe he led the National League because Marte did get traded to the A's.
Yeah,
maybe, I don't know.
It said, yeah. And then he also led the league in hits, and he had a 6.5 WAR. But I'm talking a player that fucking does everything. He even moved around a little in the infield. It didn't slow him down. He's fucking phenomenal.
Plays great defense. I love Trey Turner. Great pick, in my opinion. My pick was Fernando Tatis Jr., who I know it gets lost because the Padres really collapsed there at the end, and like it was a brutal collapse. It should not be overlooked how ridiculous a year Tatis had at the plate at such a young age. 282 batting average, 368 on base, 577 slugging for a 975 OPS, 42 home runs, 25 stolen bags, and also 6.5 WAR. So I mean, it really is different strokes for different folks on who you prefer. I think Trey Turner's is equal. They're both just as good. I think he's a bit better defensively. I don't shit on Tatis this year defensively for all of his errors too much because I think a lot of that had to do with his torn labrum. Because the year before that, he'd shown like measurable strides in his defense. And, freak athlete. I just can't say enough about him. Dude's a stud.
You could also argue that Tatis was a right fielder.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, because you sure can.
I went with Tim Anderson. I went with a flashy guy, but an under the radar kind of person, I guess. I liked it. The reason why I picked him, and this is the only reason why I picked him, because I didn't look up any of the stats or anything on him. I was like, I saw this dude hit the walk-off home run against the Yankees in what was it, the Field of Dreams. And I was just like, this guy, and he just hit it, and he just looked over, dropped that, and that was that. But he had a 309 batting average, 338 on base percentage, slugged 469, OPS 806. I mean, so like even looking at his stats now, not horrible,
No.
respectable,
Damn good player.
and he played on a good team.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
I like Timmy A.
All right, next.
Second base. I went with, I would say it's controversial because most people probably don't like this player, but god damn, he's good. Jose Altuve. Hit 278, 31 homers by a guy that fucking tiny. 83 runs knocked in, 32 doubles, 4.4 WAR, and a guy who honestly, he just gets big hit after big hit after big hit in big spots.
What was his batting average?
278.
Okay, and his WAR was what, 4.4?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, he's a solid player.
Yeah.
Gets it done in the big spot. Probably lost a step in the field a little defensively here and there, compared to some other top second baseman. But what a player!
See, like Altuve had an amazing year, and good credit to him. He really shut up a lot of people who said that he was a trash can merchant, and I appreciate that. It's going to annoy me so much that he should get in the Hall of Fame one day, and he's going to get blackballed from it, and I just hate it, and it annoys me because he was an inspiration to everyone for who he is. Okay,
Yep.
Because he's like
Now,
5'2".
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so as for the second baseman I went with Marcus Simeon, who had a phenomenal year by his standards, a career year for him. 265 batting average, 334 on base, 538 slugging for an 873 OPS, 45 home runs, and a 7.2 WAR. Like, he plays an amazing second base. Obviously, he could play shortstop on like most teams.
He can also play third.
Can also play third. Like, yeah, Semi, just a phenomenal player, had an amazing year, and he's probably going to get a payday because of that.
Yeah. We'll talk about Simeon in a little bit as well. So I went with Jake Cronenworth. He had a 4.9 WAR. This is his second year he played in the COVID season. He had 21 home runs, 71 RBIs, batting average 266. On base percentage was 340. Had a slugging 460. His OPS was respectable at 800. So I went with him, and that's all I'm going to say. Next position.
First base. I went with Matt Olson, a guy that I think really flies under the radar because he's playing in Oakland. He's got a really good defensive player. He plays in a fucking national park. And I don't mean National League. I mean, like, it's a fucking huge stadium. He hit 39 homers. Just imagine if he played half his game in a regular ballpark, how many he would have. He hit 271, 111 runs knocked in, 35 doubles, doesn't strike out a ton, draws a good amount of walks. Like I said, he's a really good defensive first baseman. I just think a guy that gets really overlooked, and I think if he played in a more conducive ballpark, he'd be up there with Vladimir Jr. in terms of power. But his defense there is really good too.
And Hogdale.
My first baseman, Vladimir Guerrero Jr., who would win the MVP this year if he didn't have an actual superhuman in the same league as him. Vlad, it can't even be said. The dude's so young, and he 311 batting average, 401 on base, 601 slugging for a 1.002 OPS, 48 home runs, 6.2 WAR. It's absurd. Lived up to every ounce of hype he had as a prospect, and he's a special hitter, and he's going to be special for a long, long time.
He's definitely going to be a special player. He's also on my team, but not as a first baseman. My first baseman is actually a World Series champion. I decided to go with Freddy Freeman. Freddie had played 159 of 162 games. He had 695 plate appearances, which he led the National League in plate appearances. He also led the National League in runs scored, 120. He had a 300 batting average. He had an on-base percentage of 393, slug 503, OPS of 896, and he's a World Series champion. And I just love Freddie Freeman, man.
So he's Freddie Freeman, and everyone loves him.
Yeah.
Good deal.
So, next position, Mr. Brady.
I love Freddie Freeman too. Catcher, Salvador Perez. I mean, he's coming back from Tommy John, had a 5.3 WAR. He tied the major league lead with 48 homers, which was the most, I believe, ever by a catcher, like ever.
I think so, yeah.
He hit 273, 121 runs knocked in. Damn. And he played in all but one game. Now, yes, he didn't catch them all. He DH some, but that's a lot of fucking games to play. If you're a catcher, you need days off. But 48 homers, 121 runs knocked in. Unbelievable. What a bounce back year. And a World Series champ.
True, he is.
He's not a 2021 World Series champion. Like
true. I was happy for Salvador. It's helping build for his Hall of Fame candidacy. Fantastic year from him. Only reason to pick him is because from framing metrics, he is by far the worst in baseball. And it's so sad because I don't value like defense equally in terms of positions. Catcher is like the one where it's like, okay, I kind of need you to have amazing defense, please, or at least decent, which is why I went with Yasmani Grandal, who is more middle of the road framing wise, but hitting wise, 240, 420 on base percentage, 520 slugging for a 939 OPS, 23 home runs, 157 OPS plus, and 3.7 WAR. Fantastic year. Dude was an on-base machine. Like I said, he's middle of the road framing-wise. I had a really tough time choosing between him and Mike Zunino, who had similar power numbers but better framing. But in the end, I went with Grandal because I think his OPS and OPS plus were a tad higher.
I'm shocked nobody picked Machete. What's his last name?
Oh my god! I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, the catcher from the fucking the Astros. I went with, so I've always had a fascination with the San Francisco Giants, and I've always liked Buster Posey. And I had to pick Buster Posey because he just retired, and I didn't pick him because of his numbers or anything. I just picked him because, honestly, I like Buster Posey.
Future Hall of Famer Buster Posey.
Definitely. If he's not in the Hall of Fame, I fucking riot. And I'm actually, like, in all honesty, I'm a little pissed off at the fact that Pablo Sandoval has 4 rings and Buster Posey only has 3.
It's a bit of a yike. It's kind of a war crime from the baseball gods. I don't know how they overlooked this one. It's odd.
I mean, he had a respectable season. I mean, he caught 100 or played 113 games. He hit 304. He had an on-base percentage of 390, a slugging percentage of 499, an OPS of 889. So it's not like he had a shit year. He retired. It was time to, and that's that. He's never played more than 150 games anyways. So
he's top 5 in terms of framing data as well. Amazing framer.
Yeah, I'd like him to fucking come frame my house.
Exactly.
All right, next position, Brady.
I'm sorry. That one got me. 1 for 1 there, sir. So
right.
DH here, I wanted to go for a true DH here. Yordan Alvarez is my pick after seeing him almost single-handedly beat the Boston Red Sox. Yep, that's going to get my attention. During the regular season, a 277 hitter, 33 homers. On base of 346. But what really jumps out is what I think he can be to me. 2 years ago in 2019, he barely played half a season at 87 games, and he hit 27 homers in 87 games. I think this guy next year takes this huge, massive fucking step and just becomes the fucking beast that I think he really is. I think what you saw in the postseason is not just a hot spell. I think that's who he is. And I think it spells trouble for a lot of teams, and I'm afraid of him. So that's why I picked him.
For my DH, I went with the man who's going to be the American League MVP. A physical specimen we haven't seen in literally 100 years being Shohei Ohtani. I mean, what can even be said about this dude? 257 batting average, 372 on base, 592 slugging, OPS 965. Finished second in the home run race, 46 dingers, 158 OPS, 9 wins above replacement. I think 5.2 of that was as a hitter, 3.8 as a pitcher. And I genuinely don't know what to say. This dude's phenomenal. And I mean, he could probably steal 30 bags if he was an everyday player too, because he's absurdly fast.
I agree. I didn't go with Shohei. I actually went with Vladdy Jr. As you said earlier, 6'8" WAR. He had a 311 batting average. He had 123 runs, 111 RBIs. He had a 401 on base percentage, a 601 slugging percentage, 1,002 OPS, 169 OPS plus. I don't know. It was kind of hard for me. Like, I wanted Freeman, so that had to be my first baseman, and it was a toss between him and Vladdy. So he ended up leading the league. He ended up leading all of MLB with 123 runs. He led all of MLB with 48 homers. He led the American League in on-base percentage, slugging, OPS plus, and total bases. He had 363 total bases. Now, here's a fun fact that I just happened to see. In his 3 years of playing, he's had 666 total bases. Hail Satan!
Let's go. This is a Satanist pod now.
He's played all but one game in 2021. He played 161 games, so there's my DH. All right, next position.
Starting pitcher. I'm not going to any stats. I'm just going to say one word after the name. Max Scherzer. Beast.
Yeah, I'm not going to let Hogdale go before me this time because of the fact that you and I actually
got the correct answer.
Yeah, we're 1 for 1 with that one. So,
check.
Yeah, check. All right, Hogdale, who was yours?
My starting pitcher was one Corbin Burns, who had a fucking absurdly good year. 167 innings pitched, 2.43 ERA, 234 strikeouts, a whip of .94, 176 ERA plus. The league average is 100, so he was 76% better than the average pitcher. And if anyone thought that his ERA was luck, not the case, because his FIP was 1.63. Absurd year for Corbin Burns.
Oh, he had a great fucking year. There's only one problem with him.
What, he's not Max Scherzer?
That's right. Yeah.
Which I do love. I love Mason Max Scherzer. Don't get me wrong. I really do. I fucking love him.
Next position.
Relief pitcher. I didn't try to homer here. I'm being Garrett Whitlock. I mean, what a fucking season by this guy. Garrett Whitlock with a 1.96 ERA. He pitched 73 innings, only allowed 64 hits. Listen to this. He only had 17 walks compared to 81 fucking strikeouts. I mean, he pitched in high leverage spot after high leverage spot. He pitched long relief. He closed at the end. I mean, he did everything, but he always seemed to face the best of the lineup, and he just got the fucking job done over and over and over again. I'm so excited to see what his future is. I don't know if it's a closer, long relief, setup, or if he's going to be a starter, but he's uber fucking talented, and I'm really glad he's on the Red Sox.
Yeah, I echo all those sentiments. Garrett Whitlock was my homer pick. It's a bummer he's not going to get Rookie of the Year votes because of Randy Arozarena technically still being a rookie, and Bobby Dahlbeck had an amazing year. And he's a middle reliever, so he doesn't deserve Rookie of the Year votes. But Garrett Whitlock, he's my homer pick. I loved him. Fantastic year, 1.96 ERA. Everything else Brady said. He's such a bright future in Boston. Thank you, Yankees, you dumb sacks of shit.
I actually picked somebody because of something they did in the previous year. I picked Amir Garrett. I did not pick him because of his stats for this year for my middle relief. I want a guy who's going to fight somebody. And Amir, excuse me, I get the hiccups for some reason now. Amir Garrett has been known to want to fight the entire. Was it the Pirates? I believe it was the Pirates.
Yeah, that was funny.
He wanted to fight. He like handed the ball over to his coach. He's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go fuck these guys up." And like he handed his fucking ball over, threw his glove down. He's like, "What you want, motherfucker? What you want?" And then he went to go start a fucking fight. But yeah, Amir Garrett. I had to go with a Garrett. So
that checks out. Listen, if you're going to take on 26 other players, you got I get it. You got a set of balls on you. That's not a bad pick.
Yeah. I needed me some Amir Garrett. All right. So I believe we have one position left, right?
Yep, we got a closing pitcher. I'm going to tell you, I wanted to pick Raciel Iglesias because I pray to God that he's on the Red Sox after this offseason. But I did not go with him. I went with Liam Hendricks. Led the league in saves, and I'm all about having a legitimate fucking closer, and he's a legitimate fucking closer. And more than anything, he pitched against the Yankees, and he showed he's got a little dick in him, right? He'd yell back, "Get the fuck in the box." Like, I love that shit. I love a closer who's got swag, who has a fucking attitude. He signed a huge contract in the offseason, and he just fucking showed up. I mean, he just did it. He's a great fucking reliever. My man, Liam Hendricks. Tell the Yankees go fuck themselves. Thanks, Liam.
Yeah, fantastic pick. I personally, though, I went with Josh Hader, who, I mean, adding to his illustrious resume at this point, I mean, he's just dominant. Dominant is the word what I'm looking for.
A 1.23 ERA. His FIP was 1.69.
Yep, 3.48 ERA plus. Like I said, the league average is 100. He was 248% better than the next pitcher. Absurd.
Out of the batters he's faced 224 of them. Out of 224, he struck out 102. He's only given up 8 earned runs. He's walked 24. He's only given up 3 home runs. He's given up 224 batters faced. He's only given up 25 hits.
I mean, it's just dominance. He had a dominant season. Only teammates on this list for the pitchers for me, Burns and Hader, both amazing.
If I can just tell you, Liam Hendricks, he had 113 strikeouts this year. Guess how many walks?
15.
7.
That's absurd.
I mean, you want a guy to come in 9th inning, not put any runners on. You know what I mean? Just shut the fucking door. That's how you shut the fucking door. That's how you shut the door.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Yeah, his ERA was 2.54. His FIP was 2.34. He faced 2.67. His stats are a little bit better. He gave up 45 hits to his 2.67. But
if you're around the plate, it's going to happen a little bit. You know what I mean? Like,
he's also 100% more Aussie than Hader, so that needs to be taken into account.
Yeah, I think he's 100% more Aussie than fucking like 100% of the fucking of the league.
Yep, that checks out.
You know what though? You know what Josh Hader and Liam Hendricks have in common?
What's that?
Large balls.
And you know what they probably need? They probably need some Manscaped. Go ahead, Hagel.
Oh, dude, I love Manscaped. Batting leadoff for the all MLB team is the Lawnmower 4.0 from our friends at Manscaped. This 4th-generation trimmer is going to help you dodge hairy balls this November and off-season, like the Orioles dodged the win column this season. Today's sponsor, Manscaped, are the global leaders in male grooming, trusted by over 2 million men worldwide. Swing for the fences and use the right tools for the job with Manscaped. For your hairiest grooming needs, get 20% off and free shipping with the code Pesky Report at manscaped.com. That is code Pesky Report, PESKY Report. And also the products are amazing, and I love the lawnmower, and the light is amazing.
have not like snipped my balls like lately because of my Manscaped, my lawnmower 4.0. My balls smell fucking fantastic. Dude, my old razor that I did use, I used to, I fucking, like no bueno.
Can we just take that clip out of context, by the way? I haven't sniffed my balls lately, but
I said snipped.
No, I thought you said sniffed.
It did sound we're going.
Hey man, no. You know what? When I put the fucking ball deodorant on, dude, I'll fucking waft it up in my face.
Get a good inhale.
I get a nice inhale. But I mean, like, all of me smells like fucking Manscaped lately. I mean, I got ball deodorant, I got ball toner, I got the fucking body wash, I got the cologne. I've got everything, man. This shit is fucking, and it's not overpowering. Like I say it all the time. Like, I do not enjoy like high perfume like smells because they fuck with my sinus. And if it's going to mess with my sinus, I'm not going to wear it. Like, I won't wear like body spray, Axe. I won't wear that because it screws with my sinus. But I tried the Manscaped cologne. I'll wear it on a daily basis.
You're a hero, Brad.
I know.
But
I know.
But it gives you, it's not overpowering. It gives you what you need. And goddamn, that light, that light gives you everything you need.
It's incredible, honestly.
Christmas is coming.
Christmas is coming. So if you want to get your loved ones or, your kids or whatever, something to play with.
What if you bought it for like your ex and you were like, because you needed it, right? You know what I mean? Like, that's nice too.
I don't know. I don't know if I would buy it for my ex.
But what? I'm not saying your ex per se. I'm saying someone's ex.
Oh, like one of our female listeners listening, and they're just like, hey, you know what?
Like, the reason I couldn't be with you is because it's a forest, right? And I didn't want to go foraging. You know what I mean? Like, okay. So, like, pay it forward, do a good thing, let your ex know, clean it up.
And get 20% off.
Yep, tighten it up.
All right, guys. Let's start talking about some of the opt-outs, the opt-ins, the declines, the accepting, and
here's a
whatnot. Bro, I am not even joking. Like, I do all my notes online, not online, but I do it on my computer instead of writing it down because, like, if I'm at out and about whatnot, I don't carry a pad or something. I don't carry a pen and a pad. Like, I have my cell phone. I can easily just go into like a Google Docs and be like, here, like, this is what I'm going to do. And I leave, I'll put my notes in there. So I also think of the earth so that I don't have to take paper, so there's that. Yeah. As I'm sitting here fucking, I got cigarette butts all over the place. No, I don't have cigarette butts. I don't smoke. So
I know you have crack pipes laying around like a real man.
Yeah. Crack pipes. I'm fine with that. That's cool. I want to actually start off with some questions that we got from some of the people off of Twitter.
Fired up.
So we got one from Holly M from Twitter. She wrote, what free agents are out there that the Sox should target and what should be the priority? Hogdale, I'll let you start with this one.
I've said this before. Just one of the free agent Giants pitchers, go after at least one of them. It's hard because a lot of the things that like I want the Red Sox to do, I feel like they probably shouldn't go all in on because like I love Correa, but like I just don't think that they need to do that. So like I'd focus on starting pitching, maybe try to get like some one of those Giants guys and maybe one of the bargain bins, and if they could get a guy like Raisel Iglesias to for the bullpen, would love it so much.
Brady?
For me, I'm really focusing on the bullpen. Raisel Iglesias is, to me, the slam dunk obvious choice. Kendall Graveman, the way that he pitched in the postseason, he was like unhittable. Not extended a qualifying offer. Iglesias was, so that hurts. I would love Correa to play short and move Xander over. I don't think that's real. I'd love it, but I don't think it's real.
Bloom actually came out and he was talking to the media at 6:00, and he stated that that he would not be going after anybody at the shortstop to move, like Xander or.
Fair enough. He believes in Meyer down the road. I get it.
Yeah. So I mean, that's that's all well and fair, but to me, focusing on the pen, and whether it's Houck or Whitlock or both to the starting rotation, those would be if they really fortified that bullpen. I think most positionally that they're pretty well stocked right now. But the bullpen, I think, needs a lot of help.
Yeah, I agree with you. I believe the bullpen is probably the biggest where our focus needs to be. I know that we did not pick up Garrett Richards, his option this year, which was for $10 million, which Brady thinks was a great idea, and I don't agree with him.
Meaning to not pick it up. Let's clarify.
Yeah,
that.
He means that it's a good idea that they didn't pick it up, and I mean it's a bad idea that they didn't pick it up. But I'm just being an asshole because I want it to be different than Brady, and I want it to be incorrect because I'm 1 for 2 now. But no, I think that Richards would actually be a good fit if, say, like $4 to $5 million if he was willing to go to the bullpen.
Agreed.
I do agree. Like we could use somebody in the sense of like Raciel Iglesias. I would not be opposed to a Joe Kelly reunion as well, as long as the price is right. I don't think he's worth $12 million. I would rather give him the $10 million over Richards because he's proven himself throughout the years. Whereas Richards, it has not been, he wasn't stable last year, So there's that.
So the thing is, though, like with going after relievers, is you guys kind of convinced me in a conversation we had a while back, is if they go after starters, a lot of the current young guys on their team can be pushed to the bullpen, and the bullpen would still be really solid even without going after some relievers.
Well, the thing is like now that they gave the I would like us to talk to Schwarber for a better contract. So we got somebody coming in right now. Actually, we are going to be talking about that, and right after we finish this subject, this question from Holly. I think right now they've extended a qualifying offer to Eddie. So that means now that our rotation, there's almost a guarantee that Eddie's going to take the qualifying offer. I think he'd be stupid not to.
Agreed.
You've got Sale, Evaldi, Erod, and then you don't know where the other two pitchers are going to come from.
I think Nick Pivetta.
Hold on. We have discussed the possibility of Nick Pivetta being a closer. Ooh. We have discussed the possibility of Garrett Whitlock becoming a member of the rotation, which I think he is better off to being a member of the rotation over Houck because he has those. He has more than 2 pitches, and he's been using them. He used them throughout the season, whereas Houck had to develop his third pitch. But there's also that. Like, you could get Whitlock, you could get Houck, and then maybe Pivetta as a closer, or even if you put Pivetta in there as a 4th starter, and then you throw in one of the other 2 as a 5th starter. So, yeah, for me, bullpen is number 1.
I agree with Hogdale. If it really could go either way, right? If you wanted to not only add Erod, the qualifying offer, but you also brought in one of those giant starting pitchers to go along with Nick Pivetta to fill out that rotation. You also could, on the same token, if you keep
1 for 2.
Thank you. If you want to keep Whitlock and Houck in the pen,
1 for 3.
With Iglesias, I mean, now your bullpen now is like, wow. So I think they could kind of almost go either way. I agree with Hogdale. Personally, I think if they left him in the pen, that's enticing me more. But that's that.
All right. I think we need to talk about this one here. We should sign Ottavino, Austin Davis, and Robles. So Austin Davis is not a free agent. He is still a member of the Boston Red Sox. I don't think that Ottavino. I wouldn't be opposed to bringing back Ottavino, but it
He's
would
still
have to
really
be a
good
right
against
price.
righties. Yeah.
It would have to be the right price. Like I'm not giving him $10 million. Robles, on the other hand, I would totally re-sign him. But out of the three of them, Austin Davis is going to be back 100% next year.
Yeah, Ottavino would have to take a haircut, and because like he's just not a setup man or closer now. He just isn't. As a situational guy who's really good against righties, fantastic. I'd have him back immediately. Robles I'd take back as well. He is very nasty stuff.
Yeah, he was good down the since he came over. He had that one bad outing, and everybody was just like they were shitting all over him. And I remember his outing in the postseason, and people were shitting on him. It's like, bro, he had like 30 games where he had pitched and he had given up like 0 runs.
He was one of the main reasons the Red Sox even made the playoffs.
Yeah,
how good he was in September.
Robles is a guy that I would definitely be interested, in bringing back. Ottavino, the concern I have is his splits righty-lefty. It's so pronounced, and I really wonder how much he's going to struggle getting those lefty bats out, even as he gets a little older. He faded quite a bit down the stretch. I wouldn't be heartbroken if they brought him back, but I think I'd be more inclined to bring Robles back than Ottavino. And it's not just because of what he's done for me lately, but really fade in August and September. We need relief pitchers that can hold out for the whole season, a la Matt Barnes. Need it. Thanks.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Ottavino had a lot of fun in Boston, even though he grew up a New York kid. And like I said, like you said, Boston sports fan, if he came back for the right price, I'd be more than happy. All right, let's move on to the next one. This question is from Vinny on Twitter. He had 2 questions for us. I'm going to ask the first one first and then wait. Would you rather have Freddy Freeman or Kyle from Waltham? I'm going to answer this first. And in my opinion, in a perfect world, I would love to have both. But this was before we found out that JD was going to opt in. But with JD opting in, actually, I believe that JD is going to be traded because he's opting in. I think we have talked about this before. A trade could be possible for JD. And I feel as though Kyle fits the team a lot more than JD does, especially at this time. Kyle can also play outfield respectfully, where JD is just, I don't want him anywhere in the outfield. I don't care, short porch or whatever. And he has taken on first base, and he was doing pretty good at the end of the season and in the postseason. And anybody who says that they don't want Freeman is just an idiot.
Lying.
But, yeah, in my honest opinion, I just don't see Freeman leaving Atlanta. Brady, your take.
If I had to pick between the two, you'd be just foolish if you said you wouldn't prefer Freddie Freeman. He's a more complete player. He's a more accomplished player. Freddie Freeman, no doubt. If you're not looking at money, but you're just looking at talent, then it's Freddie Freeman. If you're saying for this Boston Red Sox team, obviously Freddie Freeman would block Tristan Cassis, which should not happen. So I think Kyle from Waltham fits the team better, but of the two players, Freddie's way better.
Boston sports fan said, I agree JD might be traded. I like Schwarber in the leadoff spot and him being the DH. Hogdale, your opinion?
Yeah, I mean, it's like you said, like you take Freddie, but like it's just like I think he's staying in Atlanta. 2, it's the same thing with Heim saying that I don't want to go out and sign a shortstop. It's clear that he sees Meyer down the pipeline, and Cassis is closer than Meyer, so he doesn't want to block him either. I love Schwarber, and in my opinion, they should be doing everything in their power to bring him back. And the best thing, JD opting back in is only a win for the Red Sox, because instead of losing him for nothing, you get an asset out of him. And
right.
Like worst case scenario, like maybe you hold him for half the season to start a bidding war until the All-Star break, and then you trade him and drive his value up.
So Vinny had a second question. He said, do you think that Scoops and Bobby D should switch third base and first base? This is actually something we've touched on a little during the season, but this is a possibility, especially if JD opted out or JD opted and Bloom decides to keep him instead of trading him. I think Devers will eventually become the DH. His defense at third hasn't really got better. And he'll make some spectacular plays like when and he'll boot some balls. So like he'll make great plays, but he'll also make shit plays too, during crucial times. Moving Devers to first though wouldn't be long term, especially with Casas coming up. It could happen. The other thing is I just don't think that Bobby is a part of the future of this team. Hopefully I'm wrong. I do enjoy Bobby, but I don't think that Bobby's going to be a long term. We've got Blaze Jordan, we've got Tristan Casas, we got Rafael Devers,
Jeter Downs, Nick York.
Yeah, Nick York.
I'm talking about guys that can play first and third.
Oh,
any of those guys can still play first or third.
Okay, whatever.
It's true.
So, your thought, Brady?
I would not do it because I feel like it's not even for a full. I think Tristan Casas is going to be out by the All-Star break, and I think he's just going to fucking annihilate the league. I'm sorry, but I do. So I'm not going to fuck with Tristan Casas. I know he played a little third, but he's been playing first in the minors. Devers, I think, is 100% the heir apparent. DH is just a matter of when. But I also haven't fully given up hope. Right, with the Devers, I think he's still young. I still haven't given up full hope yet. Also, Xander Bogaerts, if he stays long term, is probably a third baseman for the Red Sox. So I think it's going to work itself out. But I wouldn't do a switch for short term, and I don't think Bobby's long for the Red Sox. But he feels like a good guy to trade away if he's having a good year.
How go?
Yeah, I agree, and I also think Bobby's definitely probably gone. If not this offseason, maybe by the All-Star break. He's got like enough years of like team control left and like so much upside that you might be able to really get a good trade package out of him because he has some really value. I don't know if I would do it. Like Bobby does play a really solid third, and definitely better than Rafi does. And it's just
I'm pretty sure I could probably play better third than Rafi.
Rafi's just so frustratingly inconsistent at third. It's just so lame, and like he'd be much better suited like either first base or DH, and he will eventually be the DH. It's just like you said, a matter of when, but
Boston sports fan also commented, I think Bobby should be our second utility player behind Kike next season.
Bobby's an absurdly good bench bat if you do keep him. Really good bench bat.
I don't think that Kike is going to be the utility guy that we expected him to be.
He's the everyday center fielder.
Yeah, that was pretty much proven this season. He's the center fielder. If we're going for like a utility guy, Bobby could play first. He could play third. I mean, he could play a little shortstop too.
He could definitely play second as well.
Yeah. And he could probably play second. I'd like to see them throw Travis Shaw over at second.
I know. I just love that you stay with it.
Ideal world, Travis Shaw's not on this baseball
team. I could just fucking 2 years from now, Travis Shaw will be retired. And he'll be like, I just want a little Travis Shaw second.
Hey, did he play second in the postseason?
No, it didn't happen.
Oh, it never happened?
It never happened because the Sox didn't score. No, he was gonna.
I'm pretty sure he played second at some point.
Maybe one game. I don't know.
I can't remember. I gotta look.
I remember they talked about it, and I was like, oh, shit. Brad's gonna get the dish. And then I think that's one of the games that he struck out, and I was like,
motherfucker.
Yeah.
No, I just don't see him being Bobby being a utility guy. Here, let me see. Nope, he did not play any. No, he did not play any second base at all this season.
Maybe next year.
Maybe next year. He played a total of 41 times at second base. So I'm at second. All right, our last question comes from Connor Breen. Who should the Sox go after if JD opts out? Obviously, this was a question that was sent before 5 o'clock to opt out decision. Honestly, and I wrote, honestly, if JD opts out and they can't find a way to get Schwarber, I think Devers should fill the role. With the talks about possibly filling the shortstop role, Xander should end up moving to either third base or second base. This obviously depends on what the plan is for second, but I don't really think we need to focus much on a DH. Brady, your thoughts?
My dream off season that was already probably never going to happen even before Heimblum ever spoke today at 6 was that Xander went to third, Correa became our shortstop, and Devers was our DH, and there would be no Kyle from Waltham in that, but man, you'd have a fucking unbelievable baseball team. I think would really address the left side of the infield defense, which was a real concern. It's not going to happen. I think Heim's going to be smart, but I don't think we're going to see the oh my god moves. I don't know if this team is a World Series or bust team next year either. I think we're getting closer to that point, but we're not there. Smart moves, not oh my god moves, because we're one player away. We could be, but Chris Sale has a lot to say about that, I think, too.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. I mean, I echo both of what you guys say pretty much. That point of like that they are not a World Series or bust team next year too is kind of interesting. I think really this offseason really does affect that, because like it could be just there's so many directions this team could go. Like there's so many like open lanes, so much to do, and I'm really curious to see like what direction Heim is going to bring this team in. I really am.
You do feel like one massive trade's coming. You know what I mean? You don't know what it's going to be. Bobby's obviously a possibility. I think we talked about Hunter Renfroe maybe as a possibility, but it also could be something we have no fucking clue. And I think
imagine if he fucking traded Garrett Whitlock.
Oh, that would suck.
I doubt it.
We also
I'd be in pain though.
Yeah, I would be in pain too.
I don't think there's any players that he wouldn't not trade. You know what I mean? I don't think anyone's untouchable.
Indubitably.
Yeah. Okay. And all right, let's move on. So we know that the CBA is coming up. They have until I believe it's 12 o'clock December 2nd at midnight. I think they have until then, or there's going to be a lockout.
Oof. Yeah, that sounds about right.
I pulled up the World Series ended on Tuesday night.
What are we thinking?
The collective bargaining agreement expires at midnight as December 1st becomes December 2nd. If there's no agreement, the expectation is the owners will lock out the players. That would put a freeze on, among other things, all transactions such as a free agent signings and trades. The hot stove would go cold, and what would follow is the familiar declaration from many fans declaring animus towards both sides and pledges not to return to the sport, which will mainly be forgotten whenever play resumes. I'm sorry if there's a lockout. I'm gonna be pissed. But like as soon as baseball comes back, I'm gonna be like, I'm back. You know. Thus, the sides have roughly a month to resolve this or show what has promised to be a fascinating offseason with a deep, starry free agent class and many clubs poised to aggressively spend. The whole thing, like, and all I see is like Tony Clark giving like Rob Manfred like that glare, like, fuck you, you little piece of shit.
I'm very worried about this work stoppage, dude. I'm so fucking worried. There's so many issues like the Players Association have that are like valid concerns that need to be addressed. Like starting with stuff like, the universal DH, paying minor leaguers a livable wage, stuff like that. It could be a brutal one.
They're already doing the minor leagues.
No, that the housing, they still aren't paying them a livable wage.
Well, they're giving them a housing, so fuck them. They don't need the.
Like they still got to live off fucking Pizza Hut and like not eat an athlete's diet like you want them to.
What the fuck is wrong with Pizza Hut?
Nothing when you're a fat piece of shit like me, but like when you're a person who's trained to be a professional athlete, you need proper nutrition.
Pablo fucking Sandoval.
Yeah, like do we want these kids growing up to be Pablo Sandoval? I don't think so.
He's got 4 fucking rings, man. I can't believe that.
It's so absurd. So like, yeah, like there's a lot of issues that need to be looked forward, and this labor like stoppage just scares me. And like, I hope it doesn't last too long because it's coming. It's gonna happen.
I could be like, hopelessly naive here, but I really haven't heard the "oh my god" from owners or from players. Like it hasn't seemed like as doom and gloom.
I don't think so. I think that there's going to end up being a lockout.
Yeah.
I just don't think it's going to be like 2, 3, 4, 5 months. I think it'll probably be like a couple weeks. Everybody's going to get their head out of their ass and be like, well, if we don't decide to do something, we're not going to get paid at all.
Well, let me give you a scenario. If you said they were locked out from December 2nd to February 1st, right? February 1st, they get it. Now you have 2 weeks till spring training. You talk about a fucking free agent frenzy. That would be like 2 weeks of signings and trades and all this stuff.
Fucking crazy.
That'd be fun. So I'm saying
I think it would be fun too, but I still think it would be fucking crazy.
I just think that
nobody who covers, like, there would be thousands and thousands of podcasts out there like would never fucking sleep.
No. It would there would be so much going on.
Never mind the writers and the people that followed the teams and whatnot. There would be absolutely no sleeping going on.
I don't think we're going to miss any regular season games.
I don't either.
We might have a little spring training.
We're going to have a hiccup. We're going to have a hiccup. There's absolutely 100% going to be a hiccup.
But I think cooler heads prevail. Maybe it takes a month. You know what I mean? Whatever. But yeah, we'll deal with that then. But I don't think the sky's falling.
Like that they started offering like affordable housing to minor league players is a positive sign, because that's an olive branch, like to the PA,
right.
Like saying like, hey, here's the thing we know you guys are going to ask for. Let's maybe negotiate in good faith. Like that's a good sign.
I wonder what they're going to try and be like. All right, we will give you the designated hitter throughout, but what do you think they're going to butt them with? Like, what do you think MLB is going to ask the Players Association to like?
I think they're going to increase wild card teams. I think that one game playing will be a best of 3. Postseason games make a lot more money. So I think that will be a trade-off where, all right, we want this, that gets ratings, that gets money, but then you get that. And I think that the players will agree to more
I hate
postseason.
that so much. Like, why are we playing 162 games? And it's going to happen. Like, I agree, Brady. It's probably going to happen.
Yeah.
What are we playing 162 games for, dude? Like, if we're going to have like half the league make the playoffs, like the fucking NBA. Like, come on.
I think the problem is, if you look at all the other major sports, a lot larger of a percentage of teams qualify for the postseason.
Yeah, but how many games does fucking NBA play?
82.
81 or 82, you're right.
How many does NHL play?
82.
All right, how many games does fucking NFL play?
17.
Baseball plays 162 fucking games. Why do we need to play more?
Money.
Like, that's the thing. It's all money.
I'm not against, more games. Like, I love watching baseball, but I mean,
playoff baseball. It's great.
Are we going to be watching fucking baseball into fucking November now? Like, Red Sox can't play a team in the postseason at Fenway Park in November.
I wish they would have scheduled day-night doubleheaders, right?
I would love a day-night doubleheader scheduled, but they're never going to do it.
Well, I think if you give them a Monday off, right? You give them a Sunday day-night doubleheader with a Monday off, and that your rosters then could be 28 or something like that.
Then what happens when they have to fucking miss a game?
That's a problem.
If anything, I think they probably start the season a week or two earlier instead of like making it go a week or two later.
Yeah, but like then we run into the same situations. Like, you can't play fucking Boston in fucking March.
That's what you think.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, they can fucking play, but I mean, like, look what happened in Chicago this year. They played in the fucking snow.
I agree.
Can you imagine if they had like teams with bad weather stay in spring training to play their games, kind of like the Blue Jays did for like a week or two, to be like, this is how we're going to solve the problem. Fenway South, baby. I don't think so. I'm a little nervous that JD opting to stay in is like does Boris know that the universal DH is not coming? I thought for sure it was definitely coming, but I do wonder if there was another 15 Major League Baseball teams that theoretically could be in the market for a DH and JD opts in, I would assume we've got more than a 1-year deal, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So I wonder, really, is that a foregone conclusion? I don't think he gets traded unless the National League
Brady?
does have universal DH. Yes, sir.
Is that your dog?
I'm trying, man. I'm trying. I'm muting where I can.
Your
I'm
dog
sorry.
is just fucking going nuts.
Brady is literally the embodiment of the R. Kelly meme where he's like, I'm fighting for my fucking life.
They just don't stop. I don't know what you're supposed to do. Like, I've read dog books. Like, I don't get it. Like, they're just, because we have alpacas. We have a lot of animals here. So, like, they're all fucking, they see each other. If I got them inside, then they go nuts. If I got them outside, they're barking at other animals. I'd like to say they're excited for the postseason or for the off season, but
This is why I'm happy that Sapphire is being well behaved tonight.
Yeah, I was about to say your dog's actually been quiet. I haven't heard her cry once.
She's been napping over in the corner.
So a couple things I wanted to go over before we started talking about the trade, not the trade deadline, but the opt-ins, the opt-outs, and whatnot. Josh Winkowski, I don't know if you guys saw this. Josh Winkowski, who was picked up in the Benintendi trade, was in the middle of a brawl in the Arizona Fall League after drilling Canine Smith Njiba. I'm not sure if that's how you say his name correctly, but he's part of the Pirates organization. Smith and Njiba teammate was hit the night before, though neither seemed to be intentional. Actually, after watching last night's throw, it kind of did seem intentional, and thought that this was happening too much. It took matters into his own hands. He got drilled, and he literally he didn't even think about it. He just dropped the fucking bat, charged the fucking mound, and like he laid Winkowski out. It was absolutely hilarious. Another thing that happened, Christian Vasquez fell 4 plate appearances short of his potential $1 million bonus for 2022. Fuck off, Brady. Like, seriously?
How is it right now? Every penny counts right now.
Okay, fair enough. Tim Hires. This.
Fuck him.
No, you know what? In all honesty, no.
Yeah.
No. You're 0 for 13 now. At first I was like, fuck this guy. Basically like you were, Brady. But Tim Hires took a hitting coach job with the Texas Rangers. And then I made a post on our Twitter account, and then someone ended up like posting up about it. And I didn't see this at first, but Ian Brown reported that if he had stayed, he would be co-hitting coach. Which I'm sorry. That's kind of bullshit. You got the guy that's been here for the past 4 years, and he's made the team. This team has had the best offense the past 4 years, and
he'd have a right to feel insulted.
So I honestly think that was a slap in the face. If you're telling the guy who made your team literally the best offense in the past 4 years, and you're going to tell him, "Oh, we're going to bring this kid up here, and you're going to be co-hitting coaches." No, motherfucker, I'm the hitting coach.
2 things. One, his assistant hitting coach has been with him as long as he's been here, so it's not some kid, right? 2, I didn't know that before you said
34.
That.
He's 34.
Okay.
He's a fucking kid.
Okay, so I didn't know that that they wanted to co. So then my anger is misguided.
So you're not mad at Tim Hires. I honestly,
no, because he didn't go to the Yankees. So fine.
Yeah, when that report came out, I was like, I swear to God, if he becomes the Yankees hitting coach, I swear to God, I'm burning down an orphanage. It's happening.
So another thing that I absolutely fucking love, especially when the offseason goes, you're fucked up, Hogdale. What I absolutely love about the offseason and free agents and this, that, and the other thing is that no matter who's free or available, they're going to the Yankees.
Oh, yeah. Freddy Freeman.
Yankee fans automatically assume that Carlos Correa, he was in fucking New York City last night at a fucking UFC fight, and Yankee fans are like, "Oh my God, he's in New York. I bet you he's talking to Cashman." No, motherfucker, he can't talk to Cashman because it would have been an illegal situation. Cashman had to wait until 5 o'clock today to talk to Carlos Correa.
Listen, Brad, you're laughing now, but like when the Yankees shortstop depth chart is Carlos Correa, Trevor Story, and Corey Seager, like that's when you're going to be crying, dude. All right.
Bro,
You'll be done then, bucko.
In all honesty, I would not be upset if they did that. Okay. I would honestly just fucking laugh.
Like so terrible.
Because like there was a guy on our Twitter account who kept commenting about how the Yankees payroll is absolutely ridiculous, which it is. And I was just saying, I was like, you got Garrett Cole. You have half of Stanton's contract. You want to go get Carlos Correa for $300+ million.
Joey Gallo is going to be getting paid.
Well, Joey Gallo's not a free agent until the end of next year, right?
But his arbitration number is going to be on his last year of arbitration is probably going to be pretty extensive. He's an all-star coming off an all-star appearance.
Fair enough. And then you got Judge. Like, what do you
Gary Sanchez is arbitration eligible. I think it's his last year. Aaron Judge, same thing. These guys are in for huge, huge raises. Not to mention the fact that it's sad, but Yankee fans don't realize the owner in New York that really wants to win ain't your owner anymore. Like, it's not.
I don't think Steve Cohen wants to win either because he's a Met. Mets are gonna fucking Met.
Steve Cohen's willing to spend more. I believe you'll see a higher payroll for the Mets come the start of next season than the New York Yankees, and then you'll realize you're not New York's number one team anymore. That's gotta suck,
dude. If they let Judge walk, I think the city of New York just burns down. Can you imagine?
No, they won't. They'll do like a 12-year deal, and like we'll just sit back and laugh and laugh and laugh. We can all just sit and high five each other because they won't let him go, but they have no catcher.
Well, shit, like that's their homegrown guy. Like I wouldn't even like. I'd take the bad contract if like you're at least gonna get like 6 or 7 years of prime Judge.
Yeah, that's like saying like, would you have signed Mookie to that extension?
I mean,
13 years now.
Judge is bigger though. Judge is bigger, and like I think like his decline is not as heavy.
I don't feel like Judge would be trying to get that, but also the Yankee front office has not been known to be smart about their contracts. I mean, they took on Stanton's contract, half of it, which that's actually not a terrible contract to take on because it's only half. You know, like if I got Mookie Betts for half of what he's getting paid, fuck yeah, I would take him.
They try to run Stanton out of town, and he's literally like their second best, and like it's not close. He's a stud.
Yeah, no, it's just crazy. And the truth really is, right now they have a lot of holes. They don't know what second base really is. Their third baseman is Gio Urshela. I'm sorry, but does he scare anybody at all ever? They really don't have a center fielder because Aaron Hicks, but he's always fucking hurt. I mean, he's just always.
They're going to trade Voit, like.
Yeah, right. The one guy who you should really not let go because he's got swag and he's really fucking good. They're going to trade him. Smart.
How about the fact that the Red Sox fleeced the Yankees again and get Tim LeCastro?
Love it.
Fastest man in baseball. I'm ready for it.
We have to see him and Duran race each other.
Yes,
that'd be cool.
All right, let's.
He fucked up his shit against the Red Sox, though. Like I hope.
Yeah,
I would assume he's all right, but he was broken.
They said that he should be all set to come back before spring training. It's
good deal.
All right, moving forward, players that were traded at the deadline are not eligible for a qualifying offer. So this is Javi Baez, Chris Bryant, Nelson Cruz, Danny Duffy, Eduardo Escobar.
Yes.
Yeah.
That seems like a weird name. Kendall Graveman.
Obviously, you don't know him too well.
Anthony Rizzo, Scherzer, Schwarber, Alex Cobb. I'm going to come back to that name in a little bit. Kevin Gausman, Zach Greinke, Kenley Jansen, and Marcus Stroman. So, as you guys know, like my whole thing is that I'm a huge Stroman fan. I love Stroman, and I would love to see him as a member of the Boston Red Sox. I had somebody send me a message, and it's our friend Alan from Taiwan. He actually sent a question, and we should probably answer this. So he goes, "Hey, so I have 2 questions that I would love your opinions on. Which starter do you think would be best fit? For me, it would be Alex Wood or Cobb, and that's the reason why I said we'll come back to the Cobb situation. Both are relatively cheap, and both just had under-the-radar good years. And what are your opinions on signing Chris Taylor?" This is obviously before the qualifying offer was extended to him. He's like Marwin Gonzalez, but 10 times better. Put him at second, and don't worry about Durant, and worry about Durant down in Arroyo later. So I honestly, Cobb being an under the radar pickup, like, what would you guys think about that?
You go ahead first, Brady.
I don't want any part of Alex Cobb. I don't know. I mean, like, you talk about he's from Baltimore. That's not good. And then he's from the Angels. The Angels, we already know, they literally draft anyone, like only pitchers. So 1 year does not a career make. I always get afraid of the, guys that just came out of nowhere, having one, dominant year and then committing a huge contract to that or long term.
He's not saying a huge contract. He's just suggesting that, like, maybe do a 1 year deal. Like have him do like a say like Martin Perez in 2020.
I think he's going to get more than that. If it was something that cheap, then I'd be interested. But I'm going to be a hypocrite because the guy that I would focus on is Carlos Rodon from the White Sox. Was not. Thank you. He was not offered a qualifying offer. Got a little hurt down the stretch. Had one hell of a fucking year. That's someone I'd be interested in. But if you get one for a guy like Anthony Scalafini, that's a talented pitcher. He's got a good track record. But guys that are one and done make me nervous.
Dude, I would love Rodon on the Red Sox so much.
I would take Rodon. I would take Rodon in a heartbeat. I would take
That's
Rodon in a
Scalafini's
Rodon
too, though. I do.
Yeah. Slurp it all up. All right.
Alex Cobb would scare me. Yes.
He's all right.
So we're not going with Alex Cobb.
Take a flyer on him if you want. I mean, like, just don't pay him a ton.
Yeah, $2-3 million. I'd be okay with it.
Yeah, I'm all right with it.
Yeah, if it's that. But if he wants $8 million,
if you had your choice of one player on this list that I'm mentioning, who would it be? Javi Baez, Chris Bryant, Nelson Cruz, Danny Duffy, Eduardo Escobar, Kendall Graveman, Starling Marte, Anthony Rizzo, Max Scherzer, Kyle Schwarber, Alex Cobb, Kevin Gausman, Zach Greinke, Kenley Jensen, Marcus Stroman. I just stopped at Scherzer because I didn't think I really needed to go any further.
Yeah, I'd say it's either Scherzer, but man, I would love Starling Marte on the Red Sox. He'd be so
that's
good for us.
Exactly what I was going to say. Is I think that allows Kike back to second base.
I don't want Kike at second.
I know you don't, but it completes the team.
He's a better defensive player in center field.
But it's Kike. So
I'd rather him at second.
Marte's as good though, and then again, also you can use Kike as the super utility that he is because he can play literally anywhere.
Right, and like counterpoint, Kike's amazing, and he'll do well anywhere he goes. But the other guys, some of the guys are just going to they're going to bust budget, right? But Chris Bryant's always a name that's intrigued me, but I don't think that's real. But
the Giants are totally going to sign him. They're totally going to re-sign him, especially with Posey gone. Like, you need to, have that star presence in there.
Marte feels like a really good guy that I think is not going to break the bank, but really improve the team.
All right. Let's move on to the transactions, options, opt-outs, and whatnot. So we're going to start off with the big name, the biggest name on the list, Carlos Correa, Astros. I thought that this was kind of a slap in the face, but then after looking at the annual average, it's not really that bad, and it's actually a starting point. Astros offered him $160 million for 5 years. He obviously declined that. He ended up getting the qualifying offer. What are your guys' thoughts on that offer? Do you think that was a slap in the face?
A little, because to me it's like there's no way he's taking like less than 8, right? Like 8's probably the minimum for years, because it takes him to closer to his mid-30s. How old is Correa? 28?
I think he's 29. Might be wrong.
I mean,
if they did like an 8-year 25
7.
per, I at least that sounds a little better, right? Whatever. But the offer that was made, if I'm a Astros fan, they didn't really bid. Again, I still think Bregman's going to short and they're going to be okay. Maybe Chris Bryant maybe doesn't. Maybe Chris Bryant goes back to third base. But meaning for the Astros, but it's not a good offer. It's not.
Things like he's 27, 8 years, like it's not bad. Like Correa 35 is not terrible. Like, assumedly, he'd only have like 1 or 2 years of decline on that deal. Like,
Right.
All right,
It just wasn't enough.
No, I think the years, in my opinion, is the slap in the face.
Yep.
Yeah.
The money's good. I would take 160 million.
AAV is fine. Yeah, AAV is like right around value, but like, yeah, you got to have like 8 years at least. If you want a competitive
So
offer.
I'm gonna go through the list of players that have received and what they haven't received, and then we'll talk about them. Okay, guys.
Sure.
JD Martinez, he opts into his contract for 2022. Freddy Freeman receives the qualifying offer. Kevin Pillar and the Mets declined the option, making him a free agent. Ian Desmond option was declined, $15 million. This isn't a shock there. He opted out last year and this year, so fuck you. You shouldn't have gotten the option anyways. Nick Castellanos hits one to left, and that's a homer. And he
Oh my god.
he opts out of his deal. Avisail Garcia, outfielders for the Brewers, he opts out. Jake Dykman, A's decline his option. Andrew Chafin declines mutual option with the A's.
Chafin?
Chafin?
Chieftain?
Is it Chafin or Chaffin?
I don't know, but
Oh.
I don't know. I just don't want him. It sounds like a dick.
Here's actually an interesting pitcher, in my opinion. Yosi Kikuchi for the Seattle Mariners.
Oh, yeah.
He declined his player option in an elected free agency. He's a
Let me get a
lefty.
I bet he goes back to Japan.
Get some Kikuchi.
Shut the fuck up. Oh my god.
You
Charlie,
know what I'm talking. Wait, hold on. I'm not ready yet. Wait.
Charlie Blackmon. He's going for some Kikuchi. He's a black man. Charlie Blackmon. He ends up exercising his $21 million option for 2022. That would be stupid not to.
Oh yeah, of course.
Schwarber, as expected, has declined his mutual option. Jock Peterson for the Cubs. He signed with the Cubs, but he was with the Braves. He has declined his mutual option and is now a free agent. Zach Greinke is expected to sign with the National League team. Yuli Gurriel, one of the biggest racist pieces of shits. His team option contract was picked up by the Astros. Tim DeCastro was picked up by the Red Sox. The Red Sox have claimed outfielder off of waivers. Darren O'Day declined his player option, and the Yankees declined his club option.
I like him.
This one kind of shocked me. Brett Gardner declined his player option, and the Yankees declined his club option. I think something's going on there.
I think he's coming back for a smaller amount.
I think that's what it's going to be. Wade Miley was claimed off of waivers by the Cubs.
That was
Why
bad.
are you shaking your head?
Because it's fucking horrible that the Cincinnati Reds, Wade Miley had a tremendous fucking year. And you just let him go.
He's gonna suck for the Cubs though.
Why?
The Reds had good defense.
But they play in a fucking tiny little ballpark.
Yeah, well, he leaves it in the infield. He gets grounders, and Cubs are just all right.
He's gonna Kikuchi it. Don't worry, he'll be all right.
He'll Kikuchi it.
Oh, yeah, he'll Kikuchi
What's going on here?
Yeah, don't worry about it. It's my dad being a goon upstairs.
Football. Are you talking
Probably.
foosball?
You talking foosball?
So I don't know if you guys heard about this guy, Siaya Suzuki.
Want him?
Okay. Is he related to Ichiro? I mean, they got the same last name.
Just say yes.
Yes, he is.
Yep.
He will be made available to MLB teams through the posting process. John Morosi had that. Johnny Cueto. The Giants declined his $22 million option for 2022. Jose Ramirez, the Guardians announced that they've exercised the option. Roberto Perez, the Guardians declined his club option. Andrew Velazquez has been claimed by the Angels, still not a pitcher.
I was really hoping you said that. That's great.
Austin Dean was claimed by the Giants. Joe Palumbo was claimed by the Giants. Alex Colome, Twins declined mutual option for 2022. That makes sense. Rob Refsnyder, Twins outrighted him to off the 40-man. Michael Conforto and Noah Syndergaard both got qualifying offers. Marcus Simeon gets a qualifying offer. Robbie Ray also gets a qualifying offer. Steven Matz does not get a qualifying offer. Joe Kelly, the Dodgers have declined his $12 million club option and will receive a $4 million buyout. Craig Kimbrell, the White Sox will pick up his $16 million club option.
Fire.
Jackie Bradley Jr., this one was a fucking no-brainer. He exercised his $9.5 million player option and will remain with the Brewers for 2022. Fucking figured nobody's going to pay him $9 million.
Dude, he was awful at the plate this year. Even by his standards, he was really bad.
I actually looked up his stats while we were talking about our.
What are you doing?
Oh,
Shit.
Get real shit now. He's like a pitcher. He's like a good hitting pitcher. You know what I mean?
He had a negative 0.7 WAR.
Yep.
He had 63 hits at 387 at-bats. Can you imagine? What was his batting average, Brady?
163, 236 on base for
Thanks, Brady.
497
yeah,
OPS.
I
So
thought he
good.
had I thought it was about 175.
It's bad.
It's really good. I mean, he's just a consistent hitter. You know what you're going to get.
He has with the Boston Red Sox, he has never hit under 200 for a full season.
Remember that one
Except
year
for
he was
2013
really good?
and 2014. What, the 2016 when he hit 267?
Yeah,
And
I
he
was
hit
like,
26 fucking homers.
oh yeah, that was. I mean, whatever he was doing, get back to that, Jack. Because I like Jackie. Like I want him to do well, but this is the wrong way, Jackie. He's going the wrong way.
Dude, his 2020 was like so much. Like he hit 283 and had like an 814 OPS in that 2020 year, and just this year is. Oh,
That just goes to show that 2020 was a fucking Mickey Mouse season.
it's a fake
Not
season.
real.
It wasn't real.
When
That's
Jackie's having a good offensive season, it's not real.
True.
Yeah, totally wasn't real.
I agree.
All right, Martin Perez. This wasn't a shock. The Red Sox declined the team option. He's a free agent, and they will get. He will get a $500,000 buyout. Garrett Richards. The team declined his $10 million option. Will receive a $1.5 million buyout. Adam Duvall declines his mutual option and will be arbitration eligible. All right. Now, of most of these on here that we had talked about, Carlos Correa, the $160 million for 5 years, we already discussed that. JD Martinez, was this a shock? Like, did you expect that he was going to opt in?
It was like 50-50 in my mind. It could have gone either way. Well, no. Okay, fuck you. I meant that like in my mind it was 50-50 in that because like, it really could have gone either way. I really just think it depends like how Boris thought like how likely the universal DH is. Where it's like I think if they were guaranteed a universal DH, I think he 100% opts out because he could get more than 19 million. But with the uncertainty, I could see why he would opt in. To me, it's just a positive for the Red Sox because they're probably going to get an asset out of him.
I totally thought he was going to opt in during the year, during the postseason. And then when I read those reports that said, oh, he's going to opt out, I just quickly was like, because that's what I really wanted. Not because I'm anti-JD, but because I really want to see what Heim could do with a fuckload of money. And because JD's not going to be here, this is it. You know, this is the swan song. Him getting re-signed would be a shock, I think, to everybody. So I think in the end, I'm kind of surprised he opted in.
I'm surprised too, but I think the better of it, what could happen is if for some reason they don't know that there's going to be a designated hitter after the CBA, and just say like next year they were like, okay, well we agreed we're going to have the designated hitter. That works for the fucking Boston Red Sox because now you have 15 other teams that didn't even have that option, who you could be like, all right, well, we've got JD Martinez. He's got a $19 million contract, $19+ million contract. We'll eat some of it, but like imagine if they go out and like fleece a team.
Couldn't you see him like wearing a Giants uniform? I don't know why. I could really see JD.
If there is a designated hitter, I see him going west.
Right, but like I'm saying, I think the Giants would be a team, they don't have a huge payroll commitment. They're coming off a really good year. You want to keep that momentum, and you're only going after a guy. Maybe the Sox pay $5 or $6 million. You're not paying a ton of money for JD for 1 year, and that fan base, that's saying that we're in this thing.
Yeah.
Having said that, I don't think he gets traded.
I think he will.
Well, we'll find out. I just think it'd be nerve-wracking by the time you work out a trade. You've got to know that you bring someone else, like Kyle from Waltham, in to take that spot. And that I don't know if that's all. I don't know if the Stars are going to line up that well.
Freddie Freeman, he ended up receiving his qualifying offer. That wasn't a shock. I think that they're going to end up talking more, and they're going to end up talking and keeping him there. I don't see Freeman going anywhere else.
He should never be anything but an Atlanta Brave. Like, come on, man.
Absolutely not. Kikuchi, that one kind of shocked me a little bit because he just seems like he fits so well with the Mariners.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know why you guys keep fucking laughing about Kikuchi.
No, it's not that. It's like he fits with the Mariners. Like, wow, because Ichiro played there and he was Japanese too. You fuck.
No, that has nothing to do with it.
Oh yeah,
Jesus Christ! I mean, you fucking racist prick.
Yeah, I'm sorry that your racism is showing, Brad. And I'm sorry.
Wow.
I'm here to hold you accountable.
I'm gonna go with a very big ballpark. This is a pitcher coming from Japan, pitching to a very large dome park, a lot that he's used to. So I think it's a comfort coming over from one league to the next, but kind of pitching in similar conditions for at least half the year. Probably
where
fit him well.
Pitched, where Ichiro played.
Well, Ichiro did.
Where his cousin Ichiro was.
Is that his cousin?
No.
Oh no, their last names are Suzuki.
Oh my god.
Okay. Yeah. No. Right.
That wasn't Suzuki, the Kikuchi. Sorry.
He's lost. He's completely lost. The train.
I'm fucking lost. I thought we were talking about Suzuki, the Japanese player that was coming over. I need to stop.
Oh, the free agent.
No,
the guy that's getting posted.
Just
meanwhile, Brady's cat is slinking around in the background.
Oh, Wally's doing his thing.
The bad lad.
Yeah, yep. It's licking its own Kikuchi.
Yes.
All right, that was funny. I did like that one. Yep. You get it. Yep. Good for you, Brad.
Anyway.
You got one.
All right, let's move on. Enough Kikuchi stuff. Jock Peterson, that one didn't seem like a shock to me. Zach Greinke wanting to play in the National League. That's kind of a shock, but I mean, like,
he liked to hit. I remember that. He was so.
Yeah, that's true. That is.
This feels like a swan song for him. This feels like one more. Pick my location, go have a good year, chase a ring. He looks like maybe he'd go like to the Braves or something like that and just fucking clean up.
I'd love him on the Braves.
Well,
I wouldn't mind him on the Braves.
See, we just found a home for
starter.
Yeah, we did find a fun. A shocker for me was Craig Kimbrell get picked up by the White Sox.
I don't know what they're thinking, dude.
$16 million for a setup guy,
and not very good setup guy at that.
I'm not a Craig Kimbrell guy. Never have been. I don't get it at all. It feels like when A-Rod opted out and they reworked the deal, and you're like, why the fuck? You just got the biggest life preserver ever. Let Craig Kimbrell leave, and I don't know. That's just weird. Thor getting a qualifying offer surprised me.
That one didn't shock me, honestly.
Really?
I think it's more of like they want him to stay with the Mets.
I wanted him in the Red Sox. I know you didn't, but that would have been a huge...
I didn't care either way. Like if he went to the Mets, that's great. If he was the Red Sox, cool. But I don't think 18 million is. I don't think he's worth 18 million.
No, I thought maybe 1 year 14 would have been something like to bring him over, let him do
1 year 12 million.
Awesome. Yep. Maybe with a a buyout or incentives or whatever the fuck. I think it would have been cool. Would have been.
All right. What else? Joe Kelly. It wasn't a shock. I don't see him going anywhere. He enjoys being in LA, and I believe he's going to take less. If they give him like a couple years, like say 3 years or whatever, 2-3 years, and they say, I don't know, just throwing shit at a wall right now, say like $15 million for 3 years.
The only thing though, if I'm Joe Kelly and I really like playing for the Dodgers, right? I believe that you're right about that.
I don't even know if it's he enjoys playing for the Dodgers, which I'm not saying he doesn't.
But like
he's from LA.
All right, but here's my thing though. You see the Dodgers have no fucking problem throwing around money at all. Right. And they're going to ask me to come back for a little lesser. Like that's where you're trying to save money. That I think would rub me a little bit the wrong way because he's been a good fucking soldier there and a good pitcher.
Right. Fair enough.
I just don't want to go to the fucking Yankees.
He ain't gonna go to the Yankees. He ain't gonna go to the Yankees.
All right, cool. Now that you said it, I feel better. Thank you.
Were we shocked about Colomé?
No, not really. Like, yeah, I could say it.
No.
Yeah, I wasn't shocked about Colomé. I laughed when I saw that. Honestly.
No.
All right, let's move ahead a little.
Kershaw was the shocking one.
Yeah,
I was just about to get to that one.
Sorry, I had to jump. That one.
Kershaw was not tendered a qualifying offer, and I think it was. I honestly think it has to do with the fact that they've already talked to him.
I don't really know this time,
dude. Like, I just can't see Clayton Kershaw being anything but a Dodger. He's just the quintessential Dodger.
Did you ever think that fucking Mad Bum would ever be anything but a Giants?
See, that's true as well. But Mad Bum was better in the playoffs, but as like an overall regular season pitcher, he didn't touch Kershaw in his prime.
I'm gonna throw this out there. I think he leaves.
Hey, good.
Yeah. I got a feeling that a team like Texas or Detroit.
He is from Texas.
He is from Texas. Dude, if the Red Sox got their hands on Kershaw,
listen,
he's still a stud. He's just injury prone now, which is the sad thing.
You already they didn't even offer you a qualifying offer. To me, that says something because qualifying offer usually buys you time, right? You know what I mean? But they didn't even want to be on the hook for that shit. They're like, nope. So if you're a team that really thinks that Kershaw is healthy, can rebound, you don't have to even lose a fucking draft pick for this guy. Are you kidding me? Generational fucking pitcher. Now I know he's on the decline, but if you're like the Tigers and you're ready, from what I'm reading, they're going to be active this offseason. It's a pretty good way to start.
Hopefully.
And also Clayton Kershaw on the decline is like a dude whose ERA is right around 3. So it's
the Angels should go after him. Finally get some pitching.
Should get some pitching.
Oh God.
Kershaw was actually quoted, "I always think about guys I'd like my kids to emulate their game after. Buster Posey is at the top of that list."
Well, that's nice of him.
That's a class act right there. All right. We have one last thing that we need to talk about. It's the coaches and the front offices. Ron Washington for the Braves, Walt Weiss and Joe Espada and Brad Asmus and Eric Chavis are all in the running for the A's manager. Joe Espada is the Astros bench coach. Walt Weiss is the Braves bench coach. In my opinion, if they're going to go with somebody, I think they should go with Washington. But also, if they're going to go with somebody, they need to factor in and need to be truthful with them, being like, all right, we're going to blow this whole fucking thing up, and we're not going to be any good for a while.
Why the fuck is Brad Ausmus being considered for managerial job still? I don't get it. I just don't get it.
I don't. Who's the last team he fucking coached? Was it the Royals?
Yeah.
Whose nudes does this man have in the Major League Baseball's front office to fucking continue to get interviews and get offers and just being considered? He's not good. He sucks.
He's got a strong jawline. So we're gonna give him that, right? He's a former catcher, which they love former catchers, right? So like, that's a big deal. Walt Weiss, I had to look. I thought he played a lot more with Oakland than he did. He probably played 400 games with the Oakland A's to start his career. So Walt Weiss was definitely he's got a little history with them. Ron Washington has had an opportunity for a while. I just don't know that they're going to be a young team, and I just don't know if Ron is the give him a solid ball club and take it the next step forward, maybe like the Mets, or is it I don't think the A's are ready to compete next year, right? They're refueling.
Absolutely not.
Right.
Ron
so
Washington
I don't know who
would be perfect for the Mets now that I think about it. They really should be going after him. Ron Washington, he'd be perfect for the Mets.
I have an opinion on who should be the Mets the coach.
Was Beltran?
Yep, 100% should be.
I agree.
Yeah, you're correct. Yep.
Check.
Yeah, we're taking care of all season needs for a lot of teams here. Like
we're taking care of a hell of a lot more off season like needs for these teams that aren't our teams.
Yes.
Well, because Hein knows so much more than we do, but I don't know. I don't know if the Mets know more than we do. Like that's fair.
Well,
that's fair.
Yeah, that is fair. I mean, they don't even have Sandy. Sandy, what's his last name? Alderson. I got into it with some gentleman on Twitter about how I don't think that having Baez on their team is a good idea. And he was like, I don't care, blah, blah, blah. I was like, yeah, you don't care. Let me guess, you also don't care that Frankie fucking choked out your second baseman. He's like, whatever happens behind the scenes, fucking happens behind the scenes. I don't need to know about it. I was like, so when they give thumbs downs, you didn't give a fuck? He's like, no, I didn't. And then he started giving me shit about the chicken and beer. I was like, I didn't know about it until after it happened.
In fairness, I love chicken and beer.
I love chicken. I'm not a fan of beer. Yeah, I don't choke people either.
Mm-mm.
I mean, if she's asking for.
Right. Let's. By the way, it's Alderson Kikuchi, hyphenated.
Moving on. We're moving on.
I'm kidding. I don't choke anybody. That's not even funny to talk about after the whole Trevor Bauer situation.
No, this is the thing. I said one joke about COVID back when, and I got fucking lambasted. And you just about joking.
Yeah, I said if Tim Hires went to the fucking Yankees, I hope he got fucking COVID. That's the only thing I fucking said.
Well, I said something about maybe it'd be a good time for the Astros to get COVID. And in hindsight, I was correct.
I did say that if Tim Hires went to the Yankees, I'd burn down an orphanage, and I stand by that statement that I made earlier. I really do.
We've all made some statements that we're going to call colorful.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's colorful.
It's all in the name of,
of the Boston Red Sox.
So wait. We got Ron Washington a job, but then we gave it to Carlos Beltran. But
No. I'll give Ron Washington the GM job. Fuck it.
Wait.
Fuck it.
All right, cool.
So we give him both jobs. Carlos Beltran's nowhere in the fucking conversation, but we got him a job.
Who's the manager for the A's then?
Fucking Walt Weiss.
Okay.
I like it.
How's that check out?
Yeah, fine with me. Whatever.
Yep. Did it.
Dusty Baker returns to the Astros on a 1-year deal. I was really disappointed in this.
Yeah.
I feel like Dusty Baker deserves a multi-year, but then I was talking to our friend H-Town Wheelhouse, who's an he does all of his stuff with Locked On Astros. He does Astros I think it's Astros 411. I'm not 100% sure, but he was like, yeah, I think this is a Dusty thing. I think Dusty wanted the 1 year. So yeah. I mean, he's not young. He's not a young fucking. He's not young like you are, Brady.
No spring chicken.
No. But he could just retire then.
Yeah, but if he wants to do 1-year deals, then let him do 1-year deals.
Yeah, but see, then I like the old Big Papi used to have the reoccurring option almost every year. Like I just think if that's what he wants and that's what he wants, but goddamn, 2020, although Mickey Mouse year, great year for the Astros. 2020,
not really a great year for the Astros.
Didn't they make it to the World Series?
They didn't make it to the World Series, but they were under 500.
I had a brain fart. Sorry, brain fart. That was 2019.
They were under 500 for 2020.
Okay, but Dusty held the fort, right? And 2021 they put it. Team 2020 didn't fucking matter anyway. But I just feel like Dusty's given a lot more than he should be getting more if he wants it.
Right. The other thing is that like the Mets
We're a pro
didn't declare.
Dusty podcast. Let's be
Yes,
clear.
we
Yes.
love Dusty.
Yep.
The other thing is like I believe it was the last episode that we did. We were talking about how the Mets declined to take on Raquel Fierro. It comes out that she had declined the interview for the Mets, and we want to applaud her.
Good for you. God,
That's
she's
getting
great.
just cucked, and I love it so much. It's just hilarious.
All right. So I wanted to throw that in there. Now, gentlemen, do we have anything else that we would like to throw in on the episode?
No,
Dusty would look great as an A's manager. He would.
Right.
He would look sharp in that uniform. I really think he would.
With his gloves?
Fuck yeah! I mean, toothpick gloves. I mean,
The toothpick under or over the mask?
throw it.
yeah, through it.
Yep. Thank you. Go ahead. Hog out.
No, I think I think we covered everything. I think we got everything.
Yeah, I'm Vasquez back. I don't think that's shocking anybody. Perez not picked up. Thanks, buddy. See ya.
Just to let everybody know that just because their options weren't exercised by the team does not mean that the players won't come back. If I've learned anything through the off-season transactions, it was like last year. I wanted them to pick up Martin Perez's option. They just declined it. They ended up getting him for cheaper. I'm not saying I want Martin Perez back. I'm just saying I do, however, want to get Garrett Richards back. I think somewhere in between 5 and 7 million wouldn't be a terrible relief pitcher. I just think that he's going to want to be a starter.
Who would you rather have back from the bullpen, Robles or Richards?
That's actually tough because I think Richards was actually showing some good stuff. Robles can actually pitch on multiple days, but Richards can actually pitch multiple innings.
So who would it be if you had to pick?
I'd probably go Robles.
Yeah, same. I think I'll probably take Robles.
Yep. Good. You're doing great. You're getting right answer after right answer here. Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right. Anything else, Jones?
I don't think so. I think we're good.
All right. Everybody, thanks so much for tuning in and listening to us. This is actually going to be a 2-part, and I hope you guys enjoy it.
Peace.
Deuces.
Kukuchi.
Oh my fucking God.
Thank you for listening to the Pesky Report. Make sure to follow us on social media at Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Pesky Report. No matter what platform you're listening to us on, please make sure to leave us a review and a comment and let us know how we're doing. And don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode.
Thank you for listening to this Belly Up Sports Podcast Network product. Some said we go belly up, so we made it our name. And we're